Hello and welcome to this pick a card reading. My name is Gabby Turner, and in this reading we're going to be seeing what your romantic person of interest wants you to know. So this is what they want you to know about their thoughts and feelings about this connection, what they want you to understand perhaps about themselves. We'll see what comes up here, but we have four options. Option number one is a pink roller skate. Option number two is a carton of strawberry milk. Option number three is a mouth licking its lips. Option number four is a little juice container with a unicorn on it that says magic juice. So those are your four options. Go ahead and tune in using your intuition and decide which option or options are reaching out to you. Just use those timestamps below, and I'll see you at your reading. Welcome, Group 1, Pink Roller Skate people. Welcome to your reading. I'm going to start off sort of channeling from these crystal cards, and then I have another stack of cards that we're going to get through, and I'll pull tarot as needed. But the first thing I'm getting from your person is that they see you as very pure and innocent. They feel like they see you as a very gentle, peaceful person. They know that there is a side of you that is not always peaceful, because you can be very sharp, but they rarely see that side of you, and they feel that when that side of you comes out, it is warranted. There is, it's justified, I think, when you do show the sharper, more hurtful side of yourself. But generally they feel like you're just very sweet and gentle and kind. I think they view you as someone who kind of prefers not to be in the limelight. It just isn't what motivates you. They see you as someone who kind of maybe even enjoys having a supportive role in life and kind of playing around the edges, rather than being in the center of attention. But overall, they see you as very sweet and pure. I think in their own energy, they view themselves as someone who's a bit more willing and interested in putting themselves first and putting their own needs first. And I don't feel like they judge themselves for that. They feel that this is how they get ahead in life. This is how they take care of the things in life that they need to take care of. But I just feel overall they view the two of you as having very different personalities. So that's the overall feel that I'm getting. Let me turn over the cards and see what else they say. So this is Bear Right, get answers to your biggest questions. Yeah, and I think also like they view you as someone who they can turn to for guidance and support. You seem like a very wise person to them. Wise and gentle, the kind of person that probably lots of people go to lean on. You're that person who can be the shoulder to cry on. A very compassionate person. Show off your sparkle. I think they feel like, they feel that you deserve to put yourself in the spotlight more. They think that you're very pretty as well. I think a pretty, just very naturally pretty. Just a very pureness that you have about you. I don't know. It's like they feel like you deserve to put yourself out there more in life overall. All right, and so we also have Kyanite, deepen your perspective, and Agate, find your solid ground. So this is someone I feel, and this is how they view themselves too, as someone who's very determined in life. They do like to deepen their perspective. They feel like it's actually very important to deepen their perspective, like widen their knowledge, become more informed, and I feel like they are an open-minded person, but they're an open-minded person who is not just going to give in to everything that they hear other people say. They'll hear you out, but most of the time they're going to stand their ground. Because I do get the sense this is someone who's very proud, and they do feel like I've got most of it figured out. It's like they'll give leeway that other people may have insights that they don't quite yet have. But they do feel like their perspective is pretty solid and grounded. I think they view you as someone who they would probably listen to more than most other people. Because, there's just something, let me just start pulling these. Oh, Moon Soul. Yeah, you're very, very sweet, very connected to your soul. You're just a very caring person. I think that part of what it is they don't see you as someone who's trying to push an agenda, although you could if you wanted to, because they feel like you do have a sort of power within you that you can pull out if you need, but you usually don't use that. You're not the type of person who normally tries to overpower other people. And they're someone who definitely doesn't want to be overpowered. They like being the person in power. So I think they like the fact that you are sort of softer and sweeter, but at the same time, it's sort of like they understand that when you give them guidance and advice, there's never any underhanded motive. Like you are just being genuine in the advice that you give to them. I think as well for you folks, I feel like there's been some sort of physical consummation of this. And there's something about that as well that gives them an insight into who you are. It's like they trust you in part because of, like with the sexual connection that the two of you have had, they feel like that gives them insights into who you are as well. I don't know. It's like when the two of you have had, sexual involvement, it was very deep and soulful. It wasn't just physical or just, about getting off. They felt there was like a deep connection, like they touched souls with you. And so they feel like they understand who you are on a certain level. I think they do view you as a little bit angelic. And even in the way that you look, they find you to be an angelic sort of looking person. I think also, like, this is not the type of thing that often comes up in my readings, but like when the two of you have been sexually involved, I think you reveal certain aspects of yourself that otherwise you don't reveal. I mean, obviously, like your naked body, you're not going around just revealing that all the time, probably. But I mean, in terms of like who you are and what you stand for or something, there's something that they see about you as your personality, as what you stand for in life or something. Maybe something even about your life's journey or something. It could be that you all had pillow talk or something, and it's just you had certain conversations when you were together, in bed. But in any case, I feel like they definitely view you as someone who can give them really good guidance about how they can move forward in life. So they do really appreciate that. Oh, we have also compassion and listening. I think that this person wants to learn how to be there for you more because you are a compassionate listener. And it's like they're wanting to bring that energy to you and listen to you because you've done that so well for them. So that's one message. What else do they want to say about that? I want to be there for you. I want to be able to listen to you and support you and show you compassion when you need it because you're always there for other people. My goodness, yeah, you're like the woman on the strength card who's always tending to the lion. You can be compassionate in such a way, because I think this is more of a lion personality. I do get that sense of pridefulness with them. That you're the sweet and gentle woman who shows the lion, listen, even sweetness and gentleness can be quite powerful. And that's a side of their own power that they haven't really tapped into. So you do inspire them to tap into that more, and specifically they want to tap into that more in their interactions with you. They want to be able to show you their heart more, I feel like. At the same time, I think they feel that being the person who leans on someone else and cries on someone else's shoulder is actually not easy for you. So even though you come across as soft and gentle, you're very strong when it comes to taking care of your own emotional needs. You don't usually rely on other people, and that is not something that comes very easily to you. And that may be the thing in particular that they saw a little bit more of when the two of you were in bed together, or sexually involved, however that happened to be, You do you, wherever you want to do that. I don't know. But yeah, they saw you revealed a little bit more, I think, of your own need for emotional support somehow in that. Yeah, you have the 9 of Swords. You let down your guard. I think that's what it is. You let down your guard with them. Okay, and then we have I'm afraid of how strong my feelings are for you. You feel like home to me. I always defend you to others. I love you and want to protect you. So that really makes sense. So let's clarify these. I'm afraid of how strong my feelings are for you. I think also it's not just that they're afraid of how strong their feelings are for you, but they're afraid of how vulnerable you make them feel, because they do have a need to kind of lean on you emotionally. And they don't think that you have the same need. And sometimes with this 8 of Cups, because you come across as sort of stoic in a way when it comes to your own emotions, sometimes they do kind of want to pull away from you, because that sort of strikes that fear into them. They're like, wow, you're just really stoic. You're just intellectualizing your emotions instead of actually feeling them. I think it makes them wonder, like, do you really have feelings for me? Because you seem to like I said, intellectualize the feelings instead of actually feeling them. And that hurts them, because their feelings are very like ooey gooey, touchy feely. It isn't cerebral to them, their feelings. They don't intellectualize their feelings for you. It's their heart. It's, like you hit them in the gut, not literally probably, but like, you affect them emotionally in a way, I don't know, that it's just very profound. I think they're not sure if you really feel the same way for them because of the sort of stoic vibe that you put off. Let's ask, what is this I always defend you to others and want to protect you about? Well, they can see that you're trying to build or create something in your life, and you're doing a good job of it. And I think that's what they want to protect you about. They see that you're just doing excellent work in your life. You're taking care of what needs to be taken care of. You're nurturing your own life, your own skill set. I think they are aware that maybe you sometimes are afraid of being judged in terms of, maybe in particular in terms of your career. that maybe your career or your money just isn't where you want it to be, and it makes you feel a little bit insecure sometimes. But they always speak very highly and very positively about you towards others. I think sometimes they wonder why you're so worried about this also. It makes them wonder, like, did someone talk down to you about this? They may not even have heard anyone say anything negative towards you. It's just that they are curious, like, why are you so insecure about this? There's no need for you to be, because clearly you're doing great with your career and or finances. This also could be about your health, like the way that you attend to your health. It could be all of the above. Just, the Seven of Pentacles can also just be like, how do I take care of, like the daily chores of life, like the regular mundane necessities of life. But in any case, somewhere in that area of life, they feel that you are insecure and thinking that you're not enough, or that you haven't gotten as far as what you should. And they're like, who's putting this thought into group one's mind? Like, where is this coming from? So it's like they're like, who, if they ever figure out who has led you to feel that way, they would definitely have some harsh words. Yeah, definitely very harsh words. We have the Emperor reverse. Like, they would probably tell this person off. Like, why did you instill such a negative, unhelpful mindset in group one when clearly they're doing great with all of these things? Let's see what else we have here. We have visions, rainbow transference, and everything you need to soon. Well, with this card, I think that you do represent to them everything that they need in life, but maybe the timing is just not correct somehow. Let me clarify. Yeah, there's something here where it's like they've gotten to a certain level with you. They don't want to lose that, but they're also like, okay, there's a lot going on in my life right now, and it's going to be difficult for me to continue to progress this connection with you, group one, because I'm trying to maintain a lot of things in my life, and there are a lot of challenges coming at me. So you do represent everything that I need, but it's difficult right now to be able to pursue that in the way that I want to. But they feel this very strong bond with rainbow transference. It's like there's something about the chemistry between the two of you that they have never experienced. You offer them something that nobody else has ever offered. And this is someone who's been around the block when it comes to romance and sex and all of that. Like, they have been around the block. They've seen and done it all. But you represent something that is a gift that they had never quite experienced. So that does make them feel really good. And it is something that they want to guard. They want to be able to guard their connection to you. But again, they keep seeing you as someone who's maybe like off in la la land, or just mesmerized by so many different other things other than them. They really feel like your focus is not that much on them. That's their mindset about it. I think, in fact, they may feel that you have romantic intentions, interests, or even being involved with someone else romantically. Yeah, they may even feel like you have an ongoing, like a long-term interest or involvement with someone else, and that you seem to find that other person as the one who gives you everything that you need. So they don't think that you're really seeking that with them. They think that you feel that you've already maybe found that with someone else. And that does not make them very happy. because I feel like they, in their mind, you are their happiness and they want to be your happiness. They want to have this life with you with the Sun card, like to just be able to experience joyfulness and happiness and bright, sunny togetherness with you. And, they feel that there's a sort of inherent instability between the two of you in this connection because there are a lot of obstacles. And so, yeah, I think that they feel a little bit at the mercy of your own strength here. And this is someone who generally thinks of themselves as very strong. But when it comes to you, they see you as the strong one, really, because your strength comes from inside, and it's a gentle strength, which is a very unique kind of strength, and a very empathic, compassionate strength. And they just feel, in comparison to you, they're just like a little child who needs to lean on you in a way. And they feel like you may be the only one who actually knows the way out of this, or has the power to progress this relationship or connection at this point. You have roll the dice, party. I think they do feel like you are taking a gamble on someone else and spending time with someone else romantically, maybe even just like going out to a lot of social situations just to see who you could meet. And on their end, we have grass is greener and intuition. I think the grass is greener, again, is them thinking that you believe that the grass is greener elsewhere. And this is their intuition about you. Let's just clarify, though. Yeah, they view you as someone who is freely very social with other people and is definitely open to other people romantically. You're definitely not set on having something very grounded with them. At least this is how they're viewing it, right? That may or may not be true. Yeah, I think that they have sought, oh my goodness, this person has definitely gotten readings about you. So part of their insight is based on getting readings. They have consulted with a tarot reader or some other kind of psychic, or if it's someone who can read their own cards, maybe they've done that, but I feel like in the reading that they've gotten, oh my goodness, they have done this. In the reading that they've gotten, they have been told that you are interested in someone else and that you might be hiding the degree to which you are. Like you're not necessarily showing everything about what you're doing romantically and socially. They found this out about you through a psychic reading. Of course, if this isn't true, then they could have gotten a psychic reading and the psychic was incorrect. But they believe, via some intuitive methods, which I believe is from a psychic reading based on what we're getting here. And we have two tarot readers here, and then the Hierophant can be someone also that you consult and ask for guidance. So that's very interesting. Yeah, they're very suspicious of you based on something that they heard in some sort of psychic reading. They feel that you're hiding the fact that you are seeing other people, socializing with other people in a way that is kind of flirty at the very least, but you could be full on involved with someone as well. And whatever it is, they feel like they don't know the whole story and that you may purposefully be trying to hide the whole story from them. So the final card we have is Gerbera Daisy. Purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. So yeah, they do see you very much as that, even though there's this dichotomy where it's like, okay, you've got some secrets, group one. Anyway, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, then you will see it. But despite everything, it's like, they don't care. I mean, it's not like they feel that necessarily you're cheating on them, because it doesn't really feel like the two of you have that type of situation anyway, where it's been made exclusive. So So it's, they're not viewing it as a bad person or anything for this. They do view it as a threat to them because they want to be with you. But again, they just keep imagining. They continue to believe in this, that the two of you could have this joyfulness and happiness together. If you're attentive, you will see it. And I think they are like, if I believe it, I will see it. And they have definitely not given up hope in having this beautiful, happy life with you. It is certainly what they want. So let's see if there's just a final message from them to you. They're saying, I know that at some level you have at least considered me. I know that I have piqued your interest in terms of some sort of significant grounded relationship, and I will continue to hold out that offer for you. I'm not going to take that offer off the table. If you need to take more time to figure out what you truly want or who you truly want, that's okay. You can have your time to decide. The offer will remain on the table. All right, so group 1, I do hope that that reading was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 2, welcome to your reading. I'm going to start off looking at these crystal cards and channeling from them, and then I have some other cards here as well. So the first thing I get is that they actually feel like the two of you either are really excellent parents together, or that you would be excellent parents together. And I feel like they want to have like at least 3 children with you. And it's like they feel like each child that the two of you had would be some sort of like a product of the two of you, but they also feel like that you would have very unique children. Like each child would have a very unique personality or something. So it's like they don't want to have just one child. They feel like the whole experience would be, I don't know, they just feel like the experience would be better if you had multiple children, because I don't know, it's not just that they're curious about what types of children you would have, but there's something here about how they feel somehow that each child would be quite different and unique, and that the two of you would be great parents, a great support system for taking care of unique children. So some of you may already have children with the person that you're watching this for, and in that case, that's how they feel. Like, we have some very interesting, unique children, and like we are the correct parents to take care of these unique children. Yeah, and we have the 6 of Cups. They just feel like the two of you are very loving, and together you'd make a very loving team to be parents. So that's the first thing that I'm really getting from these crystal cards. I think they feel like the two of you are both equally responsible, and you bring your own dynamic to the table in this relationship. They do feel like, that the two of you would have a relationship with each other that, of course, is important on its own. It isn't just that they want to have kids with you, but they do feel like that you would parent very well together, or that you already do. So let's see what else here. You have act on your dreams. So if you haven't had children yet, they are definitely going to be acting on that dream, because that is a goal of theirs. And soften your heart. Yeah, I feel like they view you as someone who is, you can stand your ground, both with them and with any children or potential children. So you know how to give tough love, I think, is how they see you. But you also soften your heart. Like, you can be both as necessary. I think they see you as a very understanding person. Let me see here. Yeah, they very strongly want to have family with you. Yeah, so you are in the Queen of Pentacles energy. like you know how to hold down the fort. You know how to be responsible, which is what I already said. And to be a responsible parent, I think they're seeing you basically as an authoritative parent. Like you can be an authoritarian parent who's like a tyrant, or you can be like an overly lenient pushover parent, but you're like right in between. You're authoritative, which is, from what I've read, is supposed to be like the best approach to being a parent, because you have rules and expectations, but you're also willing to listen and understand. It isn't just, you being a tyrant. It is saying like, listen, we all need to have rules and structure to some degree, and you are someone who can bring that. I think they view themselves as someone who probably is a little bit more tempted to kind of give in and be indulgent to kids. And so it's not that they would expect you to be the enforcer of rules per se, because they want to be that as well, and they can be. But they appreciate the fact that you have the ability, and the wisdom, to be the kind of parent who can set down rules as necessary. We also have awaken your reptilian nature. I feel like they feel like you would have at least one very mischievous child. I don't know if they just feel like that's fate, that the two of you are fated to deal with a mischievous child. Of course, like I said, some of you already have children, and if so, they're viewing one of those children, I think, as mischievous. Also, organize your headspace. Why do they feel this way? If the two of you haven't had children, they seem to have like some sort of intuition about what type of children. There's like the mischievous child. There's the really like organized, straight-laced child. And then we have unlike your creativity. And then there's the like really creative, like artistic, free-spirited child. Very interesting. What if the two of you haven't had children, I'm just curious, like what is making them feel this way? Maybe, I mean, it could be that they've noticed people like that in each of your families or something. I'm not really sure what it is. Is it really just intuition? I think it basically is intuition. This person has some sort of intuitive gut feeling about what type of children you would have. And of course, if you already have children, then they just know it from observing them. But all right. Let's go ahead and move on and see what else this person wants you to know. Okay, we have solar eclipse, revolution, Saturn return, age, and Pisces, I believe. They definitely believe that the two of you are meant to age and grow old together. They feel that the two of you really have changed each other's lives in tremendous ways. And it's almost like, I feel like this person feels like they have manifested you. And they want to manifest this family if you don't already have it. But yeah, they do feel like they've manifested this. We have self-worth and maturity. Lots of stuff about maturity here. Maturity, responsibility. They feel that you are someone who at least partly finds a sense of self-worth through your ability to be mature, to be reliable. And they're saying, I cannot support you. I can barely support myself. So, yeah, I mean, I think that it could be that the two of you have really grown in your relationship. This is making me think of Malcolm in the Middle, the TV show. Like these two parents, they never really had a lot of money. It seemed like they were always struggling, but they also just kept having kids and kept having kids. I'm not saying that the two of you are not going to, be financially viable, but it could be that you started out together at a time when you both were struggling financially and you helped each other grow or something. there's a sense of like growing together in responsibility or growing together in terms of financial security. Sometimes people are like, well, I need to get all of my ducks in a row first before I go out and seek romance. I feel like this person and maybe you got involved without having all your ducks in a row. And you just decided, you know what, we'll help each other do that in a way. We'll support each other to become our best selves. I've never met anyone quite like you. Again, we have the Queen of Pentacles. They feel like you are really smart with money. Like even if you don't have a lot, or if you do, like you kind of know how to use money wisely. You have a very responsible approach to money. Yeah, I feel like this person was very taken with you from the beginning. They just knew that you were different, that something about you was different, and that they just needed to go after it, to go after their dreams, to fulfill their dreams, which was to be with you. I feel like for a lot of you, the two of you are already involved in a relationship. If not, they definitely see that as a very strong possibility, and it is what they want, and they are trying to manifest it. They already feel like they manifested you into their life, but they want to manifest a relationship or a continued relationship if you're already in one. They feel like you help attract the good things into their life, including the material things. You have a way of attracting abundance, not just for yourself, but for them and for the whole family. This person definitely wants, if you don't have it already, they want a legal marriage. They want it documented. They want a legally bound marriage with you. Let's see what does Labyrinth say here? I'm going to read Labyrinth from the book. I don't know what it's trying to tell me, so we'll just let the book tell us. Okay, your dream world is where some of the most important information is given. When you rest your eyes, your spirit body is free to explore the realms and to re-energize itself. We process a lot of information from our daily activities while we sleep. This card is telling you that there are answers for you in the winding labyrinths of your dreams. Before you sleep, ask your dreams to provide you with information and allow yourself to be open to listen. Well, they definitely dream about you, and I think they have really happy dreams about you. Their dreams of you bring them happiness, and also I think they dreamed of you even before they met you. So this is partly why they feel that they manifested you. Okay, so yes, they do dream of you in your sleep, but also I think when I was saying like they dreamed of you before they met you, that goes back, I think it's more like in their head they visualized you, they dreamt you up. It's sort of like they created in their head the ideal partner for themselves, which was someone that they had never met. They knew that there were certain qualities they had never found, and they sort of visualized that and manifested you. All right, let's see what else we have here. Okay, fear and family coming up on your side. Interesting, because they're not afraid of it. I think that they did have, before they met you, they had a very significant relationship. And that didn't work out. But I think they do still feel like there was a purpose for that relationship. there was a reason that that they had this relationship with this other person was sort of like a necessary stepping stone in their life, that it was something that they needed to go through, maybe in order to come together with you, like in order to, I don't know, maybe there's just something that they had to learn from it. In any case, they do feel like it was a necessary experience for them. I do think it definitely ended. And they want you to know that they feel that maybe you are afraid sometimes, or that you have been afraid of being a parent. They're aware of this, that you have fears as it relates to parenting and having a family. So it's like these are two, I don't know, they're just understanding that the two of you both brought certain things into this connection. It's like they understand your fears regarding being a parent, having a family, and they feel like you also understand that maybe this previous relationship they had, which I feel like was a serious relationship they had before you, that you seem to understand why they needed that relationship. You know, because sometimes people can get jealous even of a person's previous relationships, but they feel like you are more understanding of it. And it doesn't hurt, it doesn't make you feel insecure or anything that they had an important relationship before they got with you. Because they feel like you're very self-assured and confident, and you know that that relationship is definitely over. So yeah, it doesn't hurt your confidence or anything. All right, the final card that we have is Nasturtium. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Victory and conquest. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. I think that they are viewing this as a quality that you both have. Again, going back to like the parenting thing where I was talking about authoritative parents, it kind of reminds me of that. Some parents just like to control their children just because it's like, well, when I was little, my parents controlled me, so then I get to grow up and be that tyrant. But they feel like the two of you approach it differently. You know, I need to master myself, and that is a way of being powerful rather than just trying to have control over little kids. All right, let's see if there's any final message that this person has for you. We've gotten a lot of peeks into their mindset. I feel like they're saying that your pain is my pain. And because of that, I know that you don't need me to protect you from pain, but I also want you to know that I'm always there for you to protect you from pain if you do need to lean on me that way. I want you to understand that I'm there for you. I want you to understand that I know, even though you're a very confident person, like, you know, we can all be super confident and still sometimes get hurt by experiences that we shouldn't necessarily be personalizing or getting hurt by. So I think this goes back maybe to this other relationship they have, or like something like that. It's like you do seem to understand, you know, what that relationship was to me, and you don't really seem to be too bothered by it on the one hand, but on the other hand, I know that even the most confident person can maybe feel hurt by things like this. And they're just saying, I'm aware of the fact that even though you may not always let it show if your feelings are hurt, I know that you might still feel hurt sometimes, because they're saying I cover up how hurtful things are to me sometimes. I don't always let it show. I try to come across as very confident as well. I know that we're both very confident people, but because I know that I hide my own insecurities, I feel like it's possible that you hide yours and that you hide your pain. And I want to nurture you and make you feel secure. To me, that is the victory, helping you to feel secure. Some people would like to make their romantic counterpart feel jealous because it makes them feel powerful to do so. And they're just wanting you to know that's never been their intention. They never were trying to make you feel jealous in order to, keep you feeling insecure and more within their control. That has never been something that they would want to do to you. In fact, very much the opposite. They want you to feel safe and secure within this connection to them. All right, so group 2, that is the message that I'm getting for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the mouth licking its lips as your sticker. So first I'm going to start off channeling from these crystal cards, and then I have another stack of cards that we'll get into, and I'll use tarot to clarify as necessary. But the first thing I'm getting about what this person wants you to know is that they really love talking to you. I feel like they feel that the communication between the two of you is very strong. I think they feel that both of you can really speak your mind to each other. Like there may have even been very passionate conversations between the two of you, and they know that they can really open up their heart and say exactly what they think and feel with you. And I think that this is, something that they really like about you. They feel that you are very on point in a lot of your own, things that you say. I think they do recognize that maybe the two of you are not always in total agreement on things, but there is a sense of acceptance of each other's differences. And they do appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely feel like they view the conversations that you've had as, like I said, like really invigorating conversations, maybe like thought-provoking or like just stirring up like passion. You've had some intense conversations. Maybe you have even had some arguments, but they feel that even the arguments happen with love. I think they do feel, though, that there's maybe a little bit more on your end of a dislike, perhaps, for those conversations. They really like it. I think, and they do feel that you accept them, even when the two of you are in disagreement. But there's something here I'm picking up where, from their perspective, they feel that it's like they sense that you're really going out of your way to be patient with them sometimes in the conversations that you have. Yeah, so we have the Tower reversed. It's like sometimes they sense that you really don't want to have certain conversations, that you're trying to avoid them because, I don't know, like maybe you're afraid that it will become an argument and you'd rather just not have an argument. Oh yeah, we have the Three of Swords. But I think what they want you to know is that that's never their intention. They just get so passionate talking to you about, and being able to really speak their truth with you. But at the same time, they know that sometimes you may get hurt by it. So it's like, so we have the Moon clarifying how they feel about it. They don't want you to be hurt. They want the two of you to be able to bridge any divide that happens. They already see you as someone who they can bridge that divide with more than they can with most, and they don't want to give up on this connection simply because there are times when speaking their truth doesn't, like it feels like maybe it hurts your feelings, or they feel that you're misinterpreting them. I don't know, it's like weird because they do feel like you're open to hearing their difference of opinion on the one hand, and that you try to be very compassionate and understanding, and they also see you as a very forgiving person. Like, you will continue to have the conversations, but they feel divided. They're like, okay, I really love having these conversations with you, but I also don't want to like push you away, because that sometimes you don't seem as open to it. And it's like, I also feel like they don't, they know that sometimes you're just being nice to them by continuing to have these conversations when maybe you wouldn't want to still continue having them. Yeah, because the Four of Cups is like, I don't really want any more of this. I feel like at some level this person does think that even you misunderstand them, that they're not really trying to be offensive or defensive. They're really just trying to have like a vibrant conversation. Yes, they do try to prove their point, because to them that's the whole point of having a discussion, is like, yeah, I'm going to present my evidence and all of that. I think this person does try to make very carefully crafted arguments, but they feel like sometimes you would just not like to have these conversations. So in any case, that's what I'm getting first of all. Let's see what else we get. I think it'll probably be more than just that, but all right. So this is green calcite. Live out your heart's desire. Yeah, they see you as a very purposeful, passionate person, like someone who is trying to live your best life. And I think they feel that you are doing that. I want to say like radically doing that, which just means like, against all odds, you're going to be you. You are going to, live your life to the fullest and live out your heart's desire. And I feel like they really respect and admire you for that. We also have break through your big blocks, vanadinite. They see you as someone who is very self-disciplined in your approach to, living out your dreams, living out your heart's desire. And on their end, we have carnelian, go with their gut. Yeah, and their gut is telling them sometimes, like, speak your mind, like say what's actually on your mind, especially with you. Like, they can just feel like you will be able to accept it more than most people, because I feel like this is someone they get really fired up about things, and they know that not everyone is open to them, like, actually saying what they truly think and feel. And then we have citrine, manifest your masterpiece. I feel like this person does view themselves as a little bit of someone who is some sort of genius, or is creating some sort of masterpiece in a way through simply saying exactly what they think and feel. Like, they think that this is their life's work. They see you as someone who has your own life's work that's very important to you, which they admire, and they feel that you're similar in that way. And they feel that, speaking their mind passionately is their masterpiece that they are weaving in the world. All right, so let's see what else about how this person views you and the connection, or what they want you to know. Okay, we have Pluto, transformation. Mercury, again, more conversation. This seems to be like a very conversation-oriented connection, or like very mental, lots of discussions. And that's one of the things they love most, is that they can just talk to you about anything. And then we have 10th house, the world. I do feel like this person is very concerned with like world issues and things like that. And that's something that they really like to talk about. They do view you as being more, it's not that you don't care about these things, because clearly you will talk to them about it, but they do view you as maybe a little bit more focused on personal evolution than you are on these worldly issues. You care about these too, and you have your own thoughts about things, but you're more interested in transforming and becoming your best self. So this is just something that they notice about you. I don't think that they view this as either negative or positive or better or worse than themselves. They just are aware that this is something that's very important to you. There's a quote, and I think maybe it comes from Gandhi. Either way, I'm not going to be able to remember it exactly, but it's something like before you go out and try to change the world, first change yourself. So they see you as that type of person. You're first and foremost trying to change yourself. Yeah, you're much more of an emotional person. We have King of Cups and Pluto. These are both watery, emotional energies. You prefer to connect with people on more of an emotional and or psychological level. And I think this person definitely likes to talk more about worldly issues maybe in particular related to commerce, because the Empress connects to the planet Venus, and then we have the 10th house, the world, which is about worldly monetary issues as well. So maybe they like to talk about that type of thing more. So they're more interested in things and commerce. You're a little bit more interested in psychology and emotions. And they feel even the difference of what the two of you are interested in talking about is a conflict in and of itself to them. Let's see here. But they feel like it's a minor conflict. It's a conflict that the two of you work out. I feel like they view the two of you as complementing each other. And they also think, well, you must feel that way too, because you continue to talk to me. You continue to seem to see, value in our discussions. They do feel too that you sometimes do try to transform them, that you try to change them. They feel like they're one step ahead of the game. They love you a lot, but they do sort of resist being transformed by you, even though they feel like, with this Pluto transformative energy, that you are a powerful, person who can transform yourself in addition to other people. They're like, haha, I see what you're doing, but I'm going to continue to do my own thing here. I'm not going to necessarily be interested in the same things that you are in quite the same way, or this isn't necessarily going to be my focus, the emotional, psychological things, the way that they are for you. But I see what you're doing there, group 3. That's kind of their mindset. They do feel like you do have a really deep understanding of them, though, and that they can tell that you have a pretty good, emotional and psychological understanding of who they are. And they feel that you, part of this is because you're very thoughtful. You think very deeply about them. So I think they can tell because of that you seem to care about them, because you have a concern for them in terms of understanding who they are. And I think that came through from the very beginning. They see you as an incredibly understanding person. And they feel that you seem to be very invested in them, because despite the fact that sometimes their behavior makes you feel uneasy, you do continue to kind of move towards them. You're not really trying to move away from them, from their perspective. It seems like you keep actually trying to get closer to them, or, continue to progress this connection in some way and stay in each other's lives. Yeah, they very much think that you view them as someone that you should continue to be involved with, and that you're very ardent about that. You feel very strongly that they should be in your life. they see this in you. This is how they see you. And they like that, but at the same time, I feel like their own energy is, with the Full card and the High Priestess, their own energy is a little bit like, they don't want you to have full power over them. They know that you're a very powerful force. They feel at some level that you kind of do want to have some level of power over them, but they're not letting that worry them, because they feel actually that they're more so the one in charge here. You know, they're like, I'll let group 3 think they're the ones who have power over me in order to influence me to go in a particular direction. But actually, I'm the one leading the way, and they're the one following. So it's interesting. They do see that there's a sort of power struggle here between the two of you, but it's almost like they see it as kind of endearing. And they also feel like it's sort of endearing that you can't tell that they are the one who's actually leading the way. They're like, oh, that's sweet. Group 3 thinks that they're the one who's in charge here. Yeah, it's like, who is the lion here and who is this woman? Maybe they feel that maybe both of you think that you're the one who's in charge. Yeah, you do. You both do. But they kind of feel like they, in the end, are really the one who sees it most for what it is. They have sort of the higher perspective here. But they don't feel like you're far behind. If you notice the similar imageries on this card, we have a wheel in the sky and a wheel in the sky. The World card just happens to be a stronger card to me, because it's the final card in the deck. It's the ultimate card in the major arcana, rather, is what I mean. So they do feel like they have sort of an upper hand in terms of, you know, being the one to lead the way about where this relationship is going, or where this connection is going. All right, so that's what I'm getting there. Let's see what else we've got. We've got compliments. Aw. And grace. I know how good it feels to get a compliment, so I give that gift to others. So yeah, they feel that you do compliment them a lot. They do feel it is sincere, but I think at some level they may also suspect that part of the reason you give compliments is, again, because you kind of want some sort of power to transform them or to lead them to some sort of evolution. I mean, it's not that they feel like you're lying with the compliments, but they're like, okay, you're very generous with the compliments. And, you know, they do feel like maybe you have some sort of long-term goal with them. And then grace. I face disagreements with grace and flow through the ups and downs of my relationships without getting thrown off center. So again, this is how they feel about the two of you and your conversations, which I've already explained before. There's something that just draws them to you. Even though there are disagreements, they feel very drawn to you. It's like they feel that the two of you are very complementary, even in the ways that you don't quite agree. I'm going through a dark night of the soul, and I want to travel the world with you. Let's learn and grow together. And then, could we parent together effectively? I think about these big picture questions. So they're thinking about practical concerns when it relates to this connection. I mean, they do recognize, you know, that the two of you do disagree, and although they feel sort of comfortable with that, I think they're also aware that it could present issues in some areas, whether it's with parenting specifically, or just like, you know, if we were to learn and grow together. They clearly like that. They clearly do see you as someone who broadens their perspectives, and they do want to learn and grow together with you. But they know that learning and growing with you is going to involve more disagreements. But I feel like they see you as two people who are always willing to work through those disagreements. And then we have, I'm going through a dark night of the soul. Again, I feel like this is how they are viewing your energy. Like they're wanting to focus more on things that are like lighthearted and fun and just enjoying the world that we live in. And, you know, traveling the world, enjoying the world, seeing what's out there. And they feel like you're someone who's like very much more focused on, you're a very serious person. Yes, you do want to create happiness and harmony, but you're someone who's always wanting to work on yourself, to work on self-improvement. Yeah, it's like you never feel, from their perspective, you never seem to feel that you are good enough or that you have perfected yourself enough, and you're kind of always putting yourself through a sort of dark night of the soul. But they do feel like it kind of brings you happiness in a way. It's like, okay, it seems to make, you know, this person is like, even though it's not really my thing, it seems to make group 3 really happy to always be approaching life in that way from a place of, you know, self-improvement. All right, so let's see what else we've got here. We've got Rainbow Bridge. The sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. Intriguing. And be free. Do what you love. The sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. I think that they feel that maybe there is some sort of danger of the two of you at some point going in different directions in your lives. Because both of you kind of want to shepherd the other, but neither of you really want to be shepherded. Neither of you are followers. And I don't think you're the only person that this person likes to. I mean, both of you are people who are not really afraid of conflict. I think they embrace it more than you. Again, this is what they saw in you from the beginning, that, yeah, you are very passionate and you have strong convictions and you like to express yourself, but you don't necessarily enjoy conflict. You're not afraid of conflict, but it does sort of make you anxious. And to them, it doesn't really make them as anxious. They kind of, in a way, I feel like this person sort of likes conflict. So they like the fact that you continue to allow them to engage in conflict with you, even though it makes you feel anxious. I'm not sure what these cards mean. Rainbow Bridge. Let me look this up. Taking a step into the unknown can feel like falling. If you move towards what you believe to be right, solutions will appear where you wouldn't expect them. What appears out of nowhere to catch your eager feet can be even more wonderful and magical than you could have imagined. You are so brave for making moves that seem dangerous and unpredictable. I believe in you. I think they feel that sometimes you do try to be more in agreement with them, even if you're not. It's like, okay, let me really think about what you have said, and even though it doesn't feel quite right to me, like, I guess I'll try to believe it anyway. I feel like they view you as being that way towards them. And then I'm going to read this one. Why do we fear doing what we want? Maybe it's too many good intentions from the people around us, trying to guide us towards being good and right. That's funny because that's exactly how they see you. Maybe it's too many good intentions from the people around us trying to guide us towards being good and right. They definitely feel that you are that person with good intentions trying to guide them. It can feel like you're living in skin that is not yours, like you are pretending your whole life. If you could do anything with your time, what would you do? 100 years seems like a long time, but if you think about all the things that you could do, if you could do anything you want, it's not that long. Maybe now is a good time to start doing what you love as much as you can. The more energy you dedicate into what you love, the more opportunities to do what you love will grow. When you find what you love, everything else just feels false. So this person really is, especially because we got that full card. I think I've taken those cards up now. The full card before, they really are like this. They're free-spirited. They do what they love. That genuinely makes them happy. And I think this is why, from their perspective, they have more of an upper hand than you, because they do see you as someone who may be a little bit more willing to compromise your own stance on things in order to agree with them. I'm going to read this one too, just, I don't know, let's see what this one says. It can be scary to go out on your own into a big unknown. There is a safe place for you where you are watched over and you can find it. No one person or thing is truly right or wrong. It's what feels good to you in this moment. Try not to be afraid to say no to things that do not feel true. Your truth is waiting for you, and you have every right to be brave in your search for it. So yeah, they definitely feel that both of you are people who are seeking for truth, and you're not afraid of that process of discovery. Overall, they do feel like that's something that the two of you do have in common. Okay, we have secret crush. Okay. Legal matters. Ghosted. And addiction. Right, so what does this person want you to know? I think that they feel like you have a secret crush on someone other than them, I believe. Let me see. Let's see which way. Do they think that you're secretly crushing on them or on someone else? Yeah, they feel that you are secretly crushing on someone else other than them, and that because of that, sometimes you don't have time for them, or sometimes you don't want to be around them because you prioritize this secret crush of yours instead. What is legal matters? Yeah, maybe you, I'm not sure exactly what legal matters is, but they seem to have an awareness that maybe you are involved in some sort of legal matter that is probably causing you pain and turmoil or difficulty, because we also have the Three of Swords and the Tower here and the King of Wands. So I don't know exactly what this is. What is their opinion on this legal matter? I feel like they're on your side. If you're in some sort of legal situation, they support you. I feel like they could give you advice about it, even if you sought their advice. They're seeing you both as the king and the queen of swords. So they don't necessarily think that you need their advice when it comes to this legal matter, but they feel that they could give you some sort of solid advice if you wanted it. And then we have ghosted and addiction. I feel like this person is kind of addicted to attention from other people. And I think they use that to soothe themselves when you are focused on this other crush of yours. They soothe themselves because I don't think that feels good to them. They feel sort of ghosted by you sometimes simply because you have someone else in your life who is important to you. And I feel here that they sort of, I don't know, they use social activities with other people, maybe even partying, drinking, doing drugs or whatever with other people, as a way to cope with feeling that maybe you shut them out sometimes. I think they have a very complex social life that is where people are not always very honest with each other as well, with the other people that they are engaging with socially. I feel that they view the two of you as having a very honest relationship. Maybe they feel like you keep certain aspects of your personal life private from them, but it's not like you're necessarily lying about it. You just have other priorities socially. I feel like this person has a lot of, I don't know, like dysfunctional friendships or dysfunctional social associations or something. It's basically like anyone that will listen to this person and view them as the person who has all the answers. Those are the types of people they like to be around. People who look up to them. They know that you see them more as an equal rather than someone to look up to, and they respect you for that. But they also, like, in order to cope in life, this person needs sycophants, basically. They need people who are like yes men, you know. All right, let's see what else. We have flocks, unanimity, and harmony. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. So yeah, they feel both of you are that type of person. You need to be in harmony with yourself first and foremost, rather than just going along with the crowd or agreeing to get along. Being in harmony with yourself is your own sort of personal integrity. So are there any final messages that this person has for you? Let's see. You have justice again coming up with over the legal matters. I feel like whatever legal matter you are going through, maybe it has something to do with family, it could be a divorce or something. They have some sort of message about that. I think they worry about you because they really do want this to turn out well. You know, they want you to have happiness. They want you to be well. They want your family members to be well. If this is something that connects family members, especially if you have children, I feel like they want your children or the children in your life to be well and okay. So this person genuinely cares about and is concerned about some sort of legal issue that you're going through. They're sort of on the lookout, for you. They're trying to, they have a very protective stance towards you as it relates to this. And I don't think that they've ever really let you know the degree to which they feel that way, that they feel supportive and concerned about your well-being like that. But in any case, they just want you to know that they love you very much. And that's where this concern comes from. And, their hope that everything turns out well for you is because they do really love you and care about you. I think that may be the reason they wouldn't necessarily say all of this explicitly in words to you is because they don't think that words could accurately convey how much they care about you and how much they want your well-being. So that's the message. Let me see if there's a final message to you from your spirit guides. It may be about this, it may be about something else, but what do anything your spirit guides want to say here? Okay, luck favors the prepared mind. Okay, so that may relate to this legal issue. So basically, prepare yourself as much as possible for this. And yeah, I think that's basically the message. Be prepared, and you are likely to have a positive outcome here. So just be prepared, be responsible, and you'll have a positive outcome. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 4, welcome to your reading. Those of you who chose the magic juice box. Let's see what your person wants you to know. I'm going to sort of channel from these crystal cards, and then I have some other cards as well, and I'll use tarot to clarify as necessary. The first thing I'm getting for what this person wants you to know, they feel that you are really loyal to your personal values. I think that they do feel that sometimes you give them the cold shoulder a little bit because they think that you view them as not having the same values. Sometimes they even think that you view them as kind of like a bad person, or that certain things that they've done are bad. And it's like they can't necessarily disagree with you, but I don't know. It's like they feel like they want to be liked by you, so they sort of, in a sense, they resent the fact that you don't, or they resent the fact that you do see the red flags in them that are there, and that you don't ignore the red flags that are there. It's like they kind of want to stand up against you and prove that you're wrong. Like, I'm not a bad person the way that you think that I am, but at the same time, like, at some level, they're like, I don't know, maybe it's not that they necessarily view themselves as a bad person, but you do some of the things you've said and done, because you seem to be coming from such a like genuinely quote unquote good place. Like, it's from their perspective, it would be hard to find anything about you that is questionable. So they're like, okay, if you, such a genuinely good person, are questioning me, like, then that leads me to question myself as well. So that's kind of where they're at. They don't really like questioning themselves. They understand, though, that maybe you do have a good point about them. So they feel conflicted. Like, I think it bugs them at one level, but at the other level, they're just like, wow, I wish you would just like me and not, think that I have red flags even to begin with. So let's see what else we've got here. We have sodalite, deepen your intuition. So they do feel like maybe some of the things that you think about them are based on your own intuitive hunches, like you're just picking up vibes from them that you're not necessarily liking. Oh, wow, and we have danburite, turn on your electric light. Wow, they do feel like you are someone who is just full of light and goodness, like very genuinely. And then we have Amber, recharge your good vibes. They think that they have that inherent good vibe energy too, but they maybe need to realign with it, and you do kind of wake them up to that. Okay, maybe I've gotten a little bit off course here and I need to turn things around and maybe like straighten out my path in life. Yeah, again, align to your wholeness, hematite. They do feel that you do inspire them, even though they hate, their faults being pointed out to them, I guess, or even the feeling that you find fault with them, because maybe you're saying it out loud, maybe you're not, but they can tell that you have some sort of judgment against them, and it does make them want to kind of realign themselves and get back on track in life. All right, let's see what else we've got here. We've got Jupiter, abundance. Cancer, I feel. And Saturn, truth. Well, they do feel like the two of you both really love each other. I mean, despite the fact that you might be seeing certain red flags in them, they still feel that you love them. They don't think that there's a lack of love between the two of you. On their end with Saturn truth, like they're kind of trying to understand the truth of themselves, even for themselves. Like, okay, who am I? Like group 4 makes me wonder, like, what kind of person am I? Like maybe I have, they again, like they're acknowledging that they probably have gotten off course a bit, and they want to correct that. They want to be responsible, they want to live according to their own, they want to be their best self, and they know that that takes hard work. It's not easy to do that, and I feel like they're kind of willing to put in that hard work. And on your end, we have Jupiter, abundance. With the lightning strike, Jupiter is an energy that's very has strong opinions on things, and the lightning strike is kind of reinforcing that message here for me. I know it says abundance, which is another of the meanings of Jupiter. Okay, yeah. See, we have the Ace of Swords clarifying, like You are a person of very strong moral convictions. Wherever that morality comes from, like, you're very connected to it. You're like, there is a good way to be. And when someone brushes up against that or goes against what you think is righteous, you have a sort of righteous energy. You have strong convictions about what is right. Yeah, and they feel that you do not, that you, like if you were at the pearly gates and you had to decide, currently you would be like, I don't know. I don't think your life is quite measuring up, you know? So that, I mean, they feel judged by you. And they do see some truth in that judgment. It wounds their pride, but they also know that you still love them. It's not like you're revoking your love, you know. In some way, it's almost like they feel that you probably wouldn't call them out on this uh, if you didn't love them. So they do see it as sort of a tough love. All right, let's see what else we get here. Oops. We have tact. Yeah. I speak and act with care, remembering that impulsive words or a harsh tone can sometimes hurt others. If it feels like I'm walking on eggshells, I'll remind myself that those eggshells might actually be a shop full of china and I might actually be a bull. Then I'll remind myself to stop mixing metaphors. So they are trying to be careful and tactful towards you, because maybe that's one of the things that you take issue with, is the way that they use their words sometimes. But yeah, I mean, they are trying to be cautious. There's a lot of, even Saturn has to do with cautiousness, and this is about being cautious. They do feel like they could easily offend you, but they see the value in trying not to. They do, they don't want to be offendful. And then offensive, rather. And then on your end, we have rest. I take a step away from my stress, and then a deep breath, and then a crankiness killing nap. When I get the rest I need, I instantly become a better version of myself, able to navigate complex relationships. So they feel that you probably view this as a complex relationship in a single bound. When I don't, I'm not, which means I shouldn't. But I try to, and then we can't, and it doesn't. But I did, so it wasn't. Good night. Yeah, they feel like you do get exasperated with them, and you purposefully sometimes try to take a break from them so that you can handle this better. But I think they also do view you as genuinely cranky and maybe easy to offend, and that you might, be a little bit temperamental as well on your end. So they're seeing, they see the whole truth of who you are as well. They're not trying, they don't try to portray you as some sort of perfect angel either. All right, what else do they want to tell you? I'm not ready for this, but that doesn't mean I don't want it. Yeah, they do want it because they're willing to put in this work on themselves. Let's clarify. I'm not ready for this, but that doesn't mean I don't. Yeah. This person wants to grow up. They want to be much more mature. I've been a cheater before and I'm ashamed of it. I want to change. So that definitely could be one of the things that they know that you have called them out on or would judge them about. They do know that they would have to prove themselves to you because of some sort of disloyalty. It could be cheating specifically, but it also could just be some sort of disloyalty or some way in which they've lost your honor and respect. They're like, okay, I have to earn that back. I have to earn that respect back or that trust back from group 4. Oh, when will I see you again? So they might be, maybe are not totally ready for the full potential of this relationship, but they do want to see you again. They miss you. They like being around you. But I feel like they don't want to look foolish either. They don't want to try to like, it's like they're trying to play it off and act like they want it to look like they're not super bothered. Like, oh, yeah, group four's kind of disappeared, but like, that's okay. It's all cool. That doesn't bother me. But inside, actually, it does hurt them when the two of you are not spending time together, or when you seem to be giving them the cold shoulder, which is something I picked up at the very beginning. They do feel like you do that sometimes. But yeah, it bothers them. And in fact, I think it carries over into other areas of their life. Like when they are feeling sad and hurt that you're giving them the cold shoulder, sometimes they do with this Five of Wands. I think they kind of take it out on other people a little bit. Both of you are maybe sort of temperamental people, or like grumpy. What's the word that I'm looking for? It was on this card. Cranky. Yeah, I think maybe both of you are a little bit cranky. All right. I think that they feel that you are just trying to make the best judgment for your life. They don't feel that you've necessarily ruled them out completely as someone that you could have, like a long-term relationship with. But they also feel with this Judgment card that you're not just going to go into it blindly or to assume that the grass couldn't be greener elsewhere. They do feel like you're you're looking at all your possibilities, and that they feel that you believe that you probably could find more happiness with someone else than with them. So that does hurt them, the fact that you feel that way. But at the same time, they do acknowledge as well, like, okay, there are certain things I need to be able to prove myself to group four for them to see me as their ultimate happiness. I haven't done that yet. I'm trying, though. I'm trying to put in the effort. I know I'm not there yet. This is basically their attitude. All right, we have the lonely journey of the Priestess. I think they feel that you would probably rather be alone and single rather than to be in a relationship that doesn't meet your standards, or with someone that you can't totally respect or align with in terms of your own moral values. So, yeah. So you're on the lonely journey of the Priestess. And we have sitting on top of the world and dependency. Wow, this person is definitely very dependent on you emotionally. And with that, want to spend more time with you. There is a sort of clinginess here. They do feel quite attached to you. They definitely don't want to lose you. I feel like they, really wish that you would give them a chance and not be so concerned with the issues about them that you are concerned with. It's like, yeah, I know that sometimes my behavior makes you sad or something, but you shutting me out makes me sad, so it's like, how are we going to meet in the middle? Yeah, I think this sitting on top of the world is like, listen, maybe we both just need to meet each other halfway a little bit more in order for this to work. I'm going to read some of these cards just to, I don't know, it's an interesting deck. The lonely journey of the Priestess. To commit to yourself, to commit to further unfurling mysteries. So they do see you, of course, as someone who's very committed to yourself and your own journey. To search for the strongest self you have can be a lonely journey. A strong, independent, and knowledgeable person can intimidate others who are not ready to be there yet. So they're definitely viewing you as this type of strong, independent person. And they are sometimes intimidated by that. Your road to truth is what will make you successful and happy. And they feel that that's definitely what you're after here with the Sun card. And the people who can't travel beside you should probably go their own way. Yeah, this is exactly how they see your mindset towards them. Your success will serve you in a way that feels very different than the feelings of partnerships, but it is equally, if not more, rewarding. And along your very long and potentially lonely path, if you meet someone on the top, that's great. But for now, keep your focus on getting to that mountain peak. The valleys below will thank you. So yeah, talk about a peak. Here's number 68. So let's see what that means. Like, I feel like this person really feels like the two of you could be at the top of that mountain, right? If you both worked to get there, but you would have to meet each other halfway. You made it. They feel like you are the end goal. They do. And they feel like maybe you at least in some way consider them to be a possible end goal, but that you are definitely not willing to give in to that quite yet. Anyway, you made it. Bam, you're on top now, looking down. Don't all of your struggles look tiny from up here? Dang, enjoy this time of success and empowerment. And remember, next time you have a stress that makes you feel like it will be the end of the world, think back to this time. Think back to all the struggles that brought you to this place. And if you are in the place where you are dealing with many difficulties, think back to the last time you felt like you were on top. If you were there before, you can be there again. So maybe they feel like that at one point the two of you were on top of the world together, and then they fell off of that through maybe some of their behaviors that you didn't appreciate, and now they want to get back there. But again, I feel that to them, they think that you take away so much of their pain and difficulties, that everything that they've gone through in life, the pain and the difficulties they've been through, were leading them to you. It's like you're some sort of reward or some sort of salve or like healing, a healing balm for everything. And that's why they feel so attached to you, because it's like, okay, you're my medicine. I don't want to lose my medicine. But I think in their mentality, it could be that they're using you as a little bit more of a drug than a medicine. All right, so let's read dependency. Listen to this scenario. You are on vacation with the one you love. You walk into a grocery store that neither of you have been in before. Your loved one asks you a question like, "Where is the wine?" And although you both equally don't know where the wine is located in the store, they look to you to tell them. Although this card is dramatic in its appearance, it talks to the little ways we put our own responsibilities on others and enable others to expect us to take on their responsibilities. Codependency is common among the human connection because we are scared. And if we feel that someone is helping us along, which is clearly how they feel about you, it makes us feel safe and protected. What these patterns do, although seemingly harmless, is make both parties less powerful because they are dependent on each other, and it allows their fear to grow. When dependency grows strong, anything outside of the partnership becomes increasingly scary. You can break these chains. Yeah, I think this person doesn't really want to break these chains because they're definitely in a very codependent mindset when it comes to you. And the fact that you are more strong and independent and willing to kind of walk your own path is very fear-inducing for them because they know the healing potential that you have, and they, I don't know, I guess they're scared of having to do that for themselves, something that you seem to be able to do for them, to heal them, to make them feel better. Oops. All right. Okay, we have proposal and new love. Uh-oh. And then we have hookup. I feel like we've gotten, at this point in the reading, even though there have been different cards, we've gotten a similar message when we've gotten to this point where I pull out the Love Oracle cards. I feel like maybe both of you are actually seeing other people, or at the very least open to it or something. Either they think that you have found a new love and it's a very serious new love that either involves a proposal or could lead to it, or they're afraid of that. Do they feel like you have already found this, or that they're just more afraid? Well, I guess it's a little bit of both. Yeah, even this Queen of Swords, it looks to me like she's almost accepting a proposal. Like, he's not putting a ring on her finger per se, but it's like an offer, and she seems to be accepting the offer. which is something that the Queen of Swords doesn't normally do. She's not normally depicted like this, actually, because she is that very strong, independent energy. You know, taking the lonely journey is something that the Queen of Swords usually does. But this is in reverse, so they do feel like you may have found someone that you're willing to give up some of your independence for. Someone that you're actually willing to maybe put down your sword a little bit for. Someone that maybe does, reach your expectations and your ideals about partnership. I think because it is a reverse, they don't necessarily think that you have gotten perhaps to the point of proposal with this person, but they do feel that there's that potential there, and that does definitely scare them. I think on their end, we have hookup and mystery. Not sure what the mystery part means. I think they are still, they're keeping their options open too. They're like, who knows? I mean, because they didn't really expect you to come into their life and be such a profound force in their life. So they are trying to be open-minded and say, okay, maybe I could, if I keep myself open, I could, also find, it's like when you open a mystery bag, you never know what you're going to get. I think that's how they're viewing their dating romantic life right now. You're like, well, I can go out and just hook up with people or date other people, and who knows what I may find. Maybe I will find, love that is equal or better than what I've had with you. But I do feel like they're still looking. I don't think they've found it quite yet. All right. Final card here is Morning Glory, affection and determination. The morning glory, which blooms for a day, differs not at heart from the giant pine that lives for 1,000 years. I'm not really sure what this person is trying to tell you with this. Let me see. Well, I think that part of what they're saying is that they are trying to take, both in their connection with you, they're like, okay, if this doesn't last, if this is momentary, what we've had, it still has, it's still majorly significant to me. And also, they do value even their dalliances or their hookups with other people, Like, they're like, okay, even if this is just momentary, like, for them, it still means something. So even a hookup to them has significance. Like, it's a way of connecting significantly to a person. It doesn't have to last for years and years for something to be significant. So I don't know. I think this is how they are actually trying to heal their own attachment to you, and maybe attachment that they might potentially have with people in general, is to remind themselves of that. Like, there are people who come into our lives for a reason, people who come into our lives for a season, and then there are people who come into our lives to stay, or whatever that saying is. I feel like they're trying to keep that in mind. Like, this is no less special to them, even if the two of you don't last. Even if you have only been momentary in their life, they're never going to stop viewing what they have with you as special. All right, anything else that this person would like to say? They still are determined, though, when it comes to you. Like, they do want it to last. They do want the two of you to go, the extra mile. They do want this to be, a serious relationship, I feel like, is what they want. So they just want you to know that. I want you to know that you are my end goal. You may or may not see it that way yourself. But until something dramatic changes in my life and I come across someone else who changes my mind about it, I'm never going to truly give up on the idea of you being my end goal. You can walk away from me. You could live your own separate life, but you'll still be my end goal unless something dramatic shifts. And they feel that they kind of feel that they have made a big impression on you as well. They feel like even if the two of you aren't together, that they're kind of always going to be in the back of your mind somehow. They think that you will always be wondering what if. So they want to tell you that, they're like reminding you, like, do you want to live with the regrets? They feel that you would regret it. You may think that walking away from me now or choosing a different path is the right choice, but that doesn't mean that you won't at some point live to regret it. So this is their message, and that's their perspective on things. They're very afraid to lose you. I think from their perspective, they always want to believe that there's some sort of tether between the two of you, regardless of what's going on in your lives, even if your lives are separate. So that is the message I'm getting for you, Group 4. I hope that helped to give you clarity on your connection. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.